was that? Welcome to were you able to get on there? You can't be on our, are you logged out? I don't even know how you see comments. There we go. No, that one says Survival 2. Go to the actual channel. And then it should say that one. Okay, can you hear anything? Is your volume up? Testing? Okay, it works. Oh. Let's see if we get some people to join. It works. See? That's not too bad. Oh. Yeah, I think it set out notifications. Oh, there we go. We have someone that joined us. There we go. Hey, Nikki. I should probably turn that down now since you can hear me. I don't know, we just hopped on here really quick just to see if live works because we've never gone live before on here. So we figured that we would go come on here and see how it works, see if we like it, see if people join so that we can talk to you guys because, yeah, it's been a long day, but it was raining earlier. So we were like, it's perfect weather because it was like 100 degrees earlier. And now I think the temperature dropped by like 10 degrees. So it was a perfect time to sit outside.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Just gonna put that one up there. You got that one back. Not thunder, but wind. We did have some thunder earlier, and then we had some drizzling. But so far, it's just super cloudy. But we looked up the weather for the rest of the week, and it's supposed to rain for the rest of the week. So that's always good because it's been hot out here. So it's always nice to get some rain. I think last week, didn't we have thunder last week? I think last week we might have had some thunder and some lightning last week.
Yeah, but I don't think we got any rain.
But yeah, it's weird though because it was super hot earlier this morning, all the way up until like 2 o'clock, and then once the weather started changing, like at 3 or 4 o'clock. What did that comment say? Hold on. How do I see comments?
Said from the 18th to the 24th.
I just need to be clear. Do you have plans the 18th through the 24th? Are you coming down here? There we go. Now I can see chat. Did you end up buying property out here?
Yeah, it says she's coming for a visit.
Let me see if I can see. We'll have to look that up because I don't know where that's at. Because Cochise County is pretty big. Do you have a have you seen the property yet, or is this going to be your first visit to come and see it? Don't say. Okay, so that's down closer to the border then. That's exciting though. We noticed that there's been like a huge increase in a lot of people buying land, especially out here, um, than in like previous years. I know usually a lot of people will go up north, and it's really popular up north. But I think just down in like southern Arizona, it's starting to get more popular. Especially, I think a lot of people don't realize that we have really good weather down here compared to the rest of Arizona. So it's like the perfect place to be because you kind of get a feel for most of the seasons.
We haven't been down that way, huh?
Where? No.
No, I don't think I've
No.
ever been to Douglas before. Just Sierra Vista, but
Yeah, I think Douglas is like an hour east of Sierra Vista, so it's not
Is
too
it?
far. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the Walmart's down there. The super Walmart.
Oh yeah, the super Walmart. We heard that the Walmart that's down by Douglas is like the best Walmart ever. That they even like during COVID when all the other stores ran out, they were telling us that that was like the one store that just stayed packed with everything in it. So we want to go down there just to go visit the Walmart because that would be actually cool. First, Torval North has snow, and after 8 inches earlier, it disappeared from my screen. It's earlier this year, I didn't see it again. See, I don't think I could deal with the snow. I feel like I hate the heat, but dealing with the snow, I feel like is so much worse. Like I feel like you can always find a way to cool down, but once you're cold, there's only so much you can do, and just shoveling snow and everything getting frozen. I'm like, it's nice to visit, but I don't think I could permanently live in the snow. Originally, we had looked at places where I thought we wanted to go just because I was like, oh yeah, snow would be great. But I just realized my body does not like cold temperatures. It's like, I think I'd take the heat and just complain about it all year. And then when winter comes, complain about it being too cold. So. See, I don't think I could do Ohio. I'm like, no. But that's a big change going from Ohio to like out here in the desert. Like that's gonna shock your system.
Yeah.
So, but it'll be fun. It's like, I don't know, desert. A lot of people are afraid of the desert, but it's not that bad. Like you'll complain about it for like a year, and then afterwards you'll get used to it. Oh, there goes AZ Sunsets. We found something to do this afternoon. We were gonna relax, but then we were like, let's try and go live. Half your head is in the picture. You put the rest of your big head over here. Oh, I know, right? It's not like we just saw you. That's why I'm moving. Probably will shock me for the first year. It's so funny because you can always tell when somebody just moved to Arizona because it's just something about them getting used to the heat and everything where it's just there, it dries out your skin. When I first moved to Arizona, my skin was always dry. The mosquitoes attacked me. And now at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'm used to it now. My skin has adjusted. The mosquitoes are done tearing me up and have left me alone.
Oh yeah, they don't bother you anymore.
Huh. No.
Yeah.
Not for a few years now, because I used to get bit by mosquitoes and get like these huge little hives on my skin, and that was no fun. That was no fun. They enjoyed my California blood, so. I don't know how to get it to stay up on the screen here. There we go. Yeah, but I see that we have a couple other people in here. So if you guys want to go in the chat and say hello to us so that we know who you are, so that we can chit chat with you. We're pretty much just going live because the weather turned nice after being hot today. But me get closer? Hold on. Or Elijah get closer. You get closer. Can you guys see? So for my braids, they're just twists. So I do them myself. They're a pain to do, but usually I try and keep them in my hair. I had them out of my hair for like 2 weeks now and regretted it. But I finished retwisting them up last night.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. I finished retwisting them up last night, but I do it myself because it's cheaper. Because people are crazy out here, especially in Arizona. They went like $300 and something just to braid, and we're already so far out of town that I was like, I might as well just do it myself. Oh, she told you to get closer. Come on, don't be shy.
Which way? Closer? How?
Bring your head into the screen.
Oh.
There we go. Because I can't move it. Hold on. Let me see if I can move it over a little bit. There we go. Hold on. Let me see if I can focus that. There we go. Now, can you see him in there? Ask him a question so that he can talk to you guys too. Because he's nervous to...
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. He's nervous to live chat. Hold on, let me see if I can make sure that doesn't fall over. Okay, there we go. It looks so good I had to ask what she uses in her hair. I've been using the same thing in my hair since high school, which is crazy. It's like I found this one product that I love that I told Michelle about, and it's literally, that's my life and death. Like, I didn't have it for a few years, and well, I guess maybe like a year, like half a year, and I almost died without it. It's like one of those things where you just it's hard to find stuff that works. So
you could buy one of those buildings down there.
What
Open
building?
up a hair place.
A hair place?
Yeah.
I would need more people with hair like me out here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then I have to find a recipe, and I don't have time for that. I'm like, no. I see we have 13 people in here. For all the new people that joined, hello. You can chat with us if you know how to open up your chat box and say hello. You look relaxed today. I feel like we feel relaxed all the time now. It's like less responsibility. But no, we had a long day today so far, and the weather finally turned nice. So we were like, let's hang out outside for a little bit, as if we weren't outside all day already this morning. But it's nice when the weather's actually nice and the wind is blowing. So let's see, hold on. Hey, Stephanie. This is actually the first live that we've ever done. We've always been talking about doing lives, but we ended up, I guess, always flaking out at the last minute or just finding like odd time where we couldn't really do it. So we had some extra spare time after 4th of July weekend. So we were like, why not? Let's just bite the bullet and just finally do it. Have you any plans? No plans so far to share. We do have some other projects that we're starting on and that we're working on, but not yet. I know we need to get a video out to you guys this week because I've been relaxing the last week, and so we haven't put any videos out. So we were like, let's go live to make it up for missing a video or two.
Oh, 3.
Or 3. All Nat, hey. Oh, there we go. Do you want this back so you can?
Yeah.
But pretty much for the last few weeks, we've been kind of taking it a little bit easier, especially after having a busy May month for us. Was it May? Yeah, May, June.
Yeah,
What month are we in now? We're in July, June, whatever month it was. I forgot what month it is. You lose track of time. But pretty much we've been just trying to stay cool. How hot has it been? It's been okay. So based on our little, what is it called? Our weather station. Like today earlier when we got back, it was like 110 degrees, and that was at like 3 o'clock. Was it 2 or 3 o'clock?
3.
And so now I don't know what it is now, but it feels probably about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. So not too bad. But on average, it's been super hot during the day, and then as soon as the sun goes down, the temperatures drop to where you can literally open up all the windows and you're good to go. So that's one thing about the desert that we do like, is that at least we get a little mini break, especially being at like as high elevation that we're in. We get a little bit of a break from the heat. But during the daytime, it's usually by like 6 o'clock, it's already getting super hot. So anything that we want to do, we have to get out like super early in the morning to do it. But it's not as bad as when we lived in the city, because we used to live up in the Phoenix metro area. And well, I guess the valley area, and it used to get like 115, and even then I feel like the temperature better is here than it was up there. That one didn't pop up on mine. Yeah, we've seen on the news that I guess the East Coast has been going through a heat wave. And so on the news, they were talking about it being like 105 degrees. And I was telling Elijah, I was like, oh, that's nothing. Bring them over to Arizona, because they showed like the increased heat for like the entire East Coast. And then they didn't include like Utah, Arizona, California. And I'm like, yeah, because we're already used to crazy extreme weather already. See, with Texas, I don't think I could do Texas. Like, Texas seems nice, but I've heard that the humidity is like super crazy. I've only driven through there, but I don't think I can do the heat, the humidity. Because Arizona is more of a dry heat, and I feel like I'd rather take that and feel like I'm getting a blow dryer blowing on my face instead of feeling like I just got out of a pool and it's still hot. So I don't know how people do it in Texas. I'm like, that's one thing where I'm like, oh no. Yeah, see, I could not do humidity. I feel like my body just is like, no, I could not.
Is it worse than like Florida? Or
I don't know. Is Texas humidity worse than like Florida humidity? Yeah, because that one I don't know. You might have to look that one up. Oh, it is. See, ooh, see, I've dealt with Florida humidity before, and even that felt horrible. But Central Texas, yeah. Eventually, we want to take a drive into Texas because I want to go to Buc-ee's. They just opened up a Buc-ee's up in Goodyear, and I was like, of course they opened it when we don't live up there in the area. So we're either going to take a road trip to Texas to go to Buc-ee's, or we're going to take a road trip to go to back up to Goodyear area so that we can go to Buc-ee's. Because I did find a place that sells like they're authorized to sell Buc-ee's stuff. And so I'm thinking of just placing a giant Buc-ee's order because I've never been to Buc-ee's. So that's one thing that I'm like, I would live in Texas if I could live inside the Buc-ee's. Maybe then Ohio and Virginia. I felt like Missouri. See, I feel like everything is just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So like the temperatures like on the East Coast are just getting worse. Because we were talking about this the other day because we were talking about like how hot can it truly get out here to the point where we can't live out here anymore. Like eventually it has to stop, right? Like we have to hit like a cap, or they're gonna be like, okay, no one can live out here anymore, and everyone has to keep pushing east. Because I'm like, I think the hottest that we've ever had, it was like in the 120s that we ever had it, just in Arizona in general. And I'm like, okay, so can we handle 130? Can we handle 140?
if you stay inside.
Back in '07, my job transferred me to Irvine slash Los Colinas. Beautiful area, but rained every day for the first 30 days. Stopped on the 4th of July and started back the next day, and it was hot. See, that's where I feel like it gets disrespectful when it decides to rain and then it has the nerve to be hot at the same time. I'm like, you can't do both. Can you just give me one of them, one or the other? It's like, I love the rain, but I'm like, oh no. It's getting hotter in Texas. See, I feel like Arizona tricks you because it's like you go through the heat, like the heat of the months, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is dire. And then you go through the monsoon season, you're like, okay, I like this, you know, slow, windy, a little bit of flooding. And then you go through the winter and you completely forget about summer. And then once you get into winter, you're like, I wish it was summer again. And then summer comes around and you're like, oh, I hate this. So it's like one of those things where it just tricks you into thinking that everything's good. And then by the time you realize that it's too late and you already got through the season. Yeah, what are those things called where they it's like one of those bait, no, not the bait and switches. I don't know what it's called.
The way it's sunny but raining?
Hmm?
Where the sun's
No, it's like I forgot what it's called. It's like where something draws, I think it's bait and switch, where something draws you in and then it turns out not to be what it is, but then no, that's not it.
No.
It's kind of like yeah, we'll figure that later. Love your fence. Thank you. This one is our play area fence. We're still working on fencing the rest of the property in. We kind of took a detour from that.
It's just a miniature version of the perimeter fence.
Yeah, yes. And we have to get another auger because something burnt out in our auger piece, and then we ordered an auger, and we had some issues with FedEx delivering to us, even though they delivered other packages to us. So then they sent it back, and so now we have to get another auger, which we're gonna try and get a bigger, powerful one. Because that side of the property that's next to the wash, it has some really thick, I don't even know what kind of soil, like caliche soil. So it's a little bit harder to get through. So we're looking at more powerful augers to help us get through that. There we go. Yeah, Michelle said it's a bait and switch. Today we are sunny and rain. See, it's weird for us, not for us today. Like I was telling them, I don't know if you were on here earlier, when I was telling them that it was like 100 and something degrees, 110 degrees, like maybe like an hour ago. And then all of a sudden it started drizzling and it cooled the temperatures down, maybe like by 10 degrees. So I'm from the Houston area, Hurricane Alley, and moved to Central Texas, Tornado Alley now. I want to move further west to a better climate. See, I've been in a hurricane before when I was younger, where we were in Florida and a hurricane had hit Florida. But that was like years ago. And then tornado, I don't think I can do a tornado. Like tornadoes, I think is where I have to draw the line, where I'm like, oh no, like picking up houses and stuff. Like I can do monsoon winds and like our winds that we get out of here where, you know, it's your fault if you don't strap something down. But when your house is strapped down and it gets taken away, I'm like, oh no. Winters get so cold at night, but at least the sun. Oh, I know. This last winter, it was cold. Like it just was cold, even during the day, because it would rain during the day and it would just be cold where we would have to run the heater and just like try and stay warm. And then we figured we realized that it got so cold some of the nights where we had to actually drain our pipes. And originally we thought that was just a northern Arizona thing where it snows, but we had to like drain our pipes on Terry just to make sure that the pipes didn't freeze.
Yeah, we had ice like pretty close to the pump.
Yeah. I hate the summers here and have no business thinking of a homestead, but I'm willing just to build around and put up trees. I'd like a small orchard to have shade around my property. I know that's what we're eventually trying to get to. Eventually, we want to get some trees for shade trees, but I guess we don't know where to put them yet. I think we want a tree on the side of the house so that it shades. What side is that? The western sun. So when the sun's setting, it will provide shade on the house, but we'll have to see what type of tree that we want to plant over there. Do you remember how cold it got this winter? Oh. I think we had some 30. We were in like the 30s for some nights for
not below freezing, but
I don't know what below freezing would be here. But yeah,
it was like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
When water freezes.
Yeah. So about like in the 30s. I have PTSD, shucks, from all the craziness of Mother Nature fury. I feel like going through monsoon season out here will give you some PTSD because it's like 1 minute it's perfectly fine. The next thing, everything's flooded, stuff is flying all over, branches are breaking. So I feel like Mother Nature likes to play with us and see how much we can handle as humans. Over here in the teens, my husband and I have to get on the same page though. Oh yeah.
That's the first step.
You know on the same page?
Mhm.
Yes, that's why the main house doesn't have running water. My pipes burst. I know that's the one thing I was like afraid of. Like I was like, if our pipes burst and Terry, man, that would be crazy. Because right before, a little bit before he bought them, they had redid the pipes in there because it was up in northern Arizona and they had flooding in the bathroom. So they redid all the plumbing in there and all the floors and stuff in the back bathroom area. So that's one thing where I'm like, I don't think I can handle busted pipes. Or I think one time we didn't drain it and it froze the hose line. So we had to wait until I think like noon the next day for it to thaw itself out just to get to the water. I know I'm not going any further than the West Coast period. I'll take my earthquakes. We're here in Vegas, but no tornadoes, hurricanes, or snowstorms with the freezing rain. See, I'm from California, and I would do an earthquake over anything. I'm like, I remember earthquake drills and earthquakes and all that kind of stuff. Like, I liked earthquakes. I would rather take an earthquake over a tornado, over a hurricane, over pretty like that's something that you can deal with, like an earthquake. You know what to expect. With a tornado, it's like I don't know. I don't know. I always watch those videos on YouTube of like the tornadoes when they hit and stuff, and I'm like, that's crazy. One, how fast they move, and like that they just pick everything up. I don't even know what you would do in that situation. I'm like,
You can't do anything.
I don't know, I don't know, but I'm like, no, thank you to tornadoes because originally I think a long time ago we were thinking of moving to where was it? Where would they have tornadoes?
It was,
Indiana. Yeah, we were looking to move.
Caramel, whatever.
Yeah,
Caramel.
Indiana. Before we even thought about like buying land and stuff, we were gonna move to Indiana, and I think that Indiana, the part was like Tornado Alley or whatever. And when we looked that up, we were like, oh no, no, it's nice, but no. It's like we always think that people are crazy when they go and they build in like the hurricane areas and the tornado areas. I'm like, hurricanes you have time to prepare, but a tornado you don't have time. Yeah, I've heard like they just start so fast with tornadoes. And how do you even prepare for a tornado besides going in a bomb shelter and a tornado shelter and hoping that you come back out and your stuff is still there? Good game of would you rather, earthquake or tornado?
Earthquake.
Have you been through it? You haven't been through an earthquake yet? No. Which one would you pick, earthquake or tornado?
I assume it just shakes for a few seconds and it's done, right?
It depends on how bad it is. Because sometimes, it can like knock down walls and knock picture frames off walls, or sometimes it can take down buildings. Like Venezuela, did they just have I think Venezuela just had an earthquake. They just had an earthquake. So it could get as bad as that. But I've never been in like the crazy bad ones, but I didn't live that close to the San Andreas Fault either.
Because a tornado it's going to take your stuff somewhere else for sure, like your house.
Yeah, it's going to take your cow.
Earthquake.
There goes your cow, your chicken, your dog, everything just up in the tornado and across town it goes. Yeah. We don't have shelters in Texas, at least not many around. Oh, hold on, why is my phone ringing? There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the tornado alley states are the ones that go for more of like the tornado shelters. But even then, I'm like, you have to make it in there. And then who knows how long you're inside of the tornado shelter. I'm like, that's just scary. It's like, I will take my monsoons. I will take my earthquakes. I will take my rattlesnakes, my bull snakes, any of that over a tornado. Ohio had one where we felt the shake from Virginia. I thought I was getting dizzy. I was working at the hospital. I didn't know that Ohio got earthquakes. Are they? I didn't know that. I guess in my brain, the only thing is California. I think that only California has. I guess only California. I would think because that's the only thing. Like, does Vegas, Stephanie? Does Vegas get earthquakes? I can't remember. Internet. So we have Starlink. Originally, we moved down here. We had, what was that?
It was a Verizon like 5G.
Was that like a satellite?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So originally we had was what did you just say?
There's a Verizon
Verizon?
Verizon home internet.
Okay.
It's just a box.
Yeah.
They plug in.
That one, it didn't really do that well. Like, it did its job, but it didn't really do anything. It was horrible for uploading videos. It was horrible for gaming. It was horrible for streaming movies. And then we just swapped to Starlink, and Starlink's been great. We haven't had any issues with it, and it's super cheap for the service that you can get. And so it's definitely, I like it. Out here where we're at, they do have, what is that thing called? The underground one.
Talking about fiber?
Yeah. So we do have access to fiber where our land is at, where we could hook it up, but we need a structure. So I guess a structure for it to go into. So I think Elijah's interested in connecting to that later. But so far, Starlink is kind of cool. I know like people who do like traveling and RVing and all that stuff, they always do use like mini Starlinks and all that stuff and never have issues. One thing I did find with our Starlink, because we're so like far south in Arizona, is that I was trying to fill out some paperwork on the computer and it wouldn't let me through because it was picking up my signal as if I was in Mexico. So that was the only issue where I had to like disconnect from everything and like go on my phone and just use cellular. But that's the only thing that I had found odd with Starlink, was that they thought I was in Mexico. Let's see. Okay. So that's how you see all the chats on my screen. I don't know why they disappeared earlier. Is that, there we go. That's also, I guess, another reason why we hadn't gone live before we got Starlink. We've had it for a few months now, but trying to figure out, what's the best service. Just about a month ago, we felt the one in Cali. It was a small 4.5. I felt it because I was sitting still, but not like Cali.
What's the highest they go?
I don't know.
You want? Or
well, I don't know what the scale is that they run the scale on them, but a 4.5 is pretty small. Where
like a 10 is pretty bad.
There's some, I've been in some where you barely even notice it because it's like it's nothing. But some of them, like we used to do school drills and stuff where you get underneath the desk and all that stuff. And then when we actually had somewhere, the whole building was like swaying and shaking.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
But clearly it's not bad enough because people still live there. So
yeah.
6.7 was the last major one in Cali. Do you know what part of Cali it was in? We need to take a trip to Vegas again. That was a long drive, but I like Vegas. Vegas is nice.
It's gonna be longer now since we're done here.
Yeah. Southern, okay.
Southern.
I don't know. I never hear much about like San Francisco getting like earthquakes and all that kind of stuff. So. I'm like, oh no. I was like, what is that? And I see what my phone. So just as a heads up, my phone is at 8% because, of course, I didn't charge it beforehand. So we'll try and end it before it fully dies. So that we just don't cut out on you guys. I know the answer, but how's having electricity? Hold on. Oh, things you have now but did not have. Okay, so let's answer the electricity question first. Electricity is nice. I missed electricity, but I feel like it's different than when we had electricity in the city. Because we were like, how long were we on solar for?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. We were on solar for almost a year. So it's definitely disciplined us in our power usage. So it's not like before we moved out here where it was like everything gets to stay plugged in. Who cares if that TV is going while this TV is going and we have the AC going all day. So even though we have electricity, it doesn't feel any different than when we were on solar because we haven't increased our usage. I think we're using how much did you pull? How much
like
are we using?
21 kilowatts every day.
Yeah, so
from the AC.
So right now our biggest energy consumption for us is the AC, but it's a better trade-off because before we were buying gas for the generator just to run the AC. So it's like I feel like once winter comes, our usage would decrease a lot more, but electricity is nice. I missed electricity because you can do so much with electricity. But we still do have our solar system plugged in. So right now, running off our solar system, we're running our water heater, and our water system runs off a solar system. And so really, the only thing on the grid right now is our AC unit, and then Terry because he has to be plugged in all into one. But electricity is, oh my gosh, great. What is the thing? Okay, what was that question again? What are things you have now but did not have when you guys first moved out here? A fence. No. Pretty much, I feel like we have more time, which is odd. We have more time. Are you asking like? I guess. Yeah, I guess that would be the question. Trying to think. What else didn't we have?
Luna.
Okay, we didn't have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have our dog.
Yeah, like
doesn't make any sense for that answer. Trying to think what else. I don't know. It's kind of weird to answer that question because I feel like I feel like when we lived in the city, we were victims of overconsumption. So we had a lot of stuff, and so moving down here, we had to downsize. But we realized that the stuff that we downsized from, we truly didn't need. We just had it because that was the thing to have. Like, that was the thing to do, like, just to have stuff. Oh, yeah, peace and quiet is definitely a good one because, yeah, that you felt you needed. I don't know. Oh, no, hold on. My phone's about to die. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Hold on, I'm going to plug my phone in really quick. I'm gonna have to disconnect the mics, and then we're gonna disconnect the mics and then see if you guys can still hear us, because I need my phone port to charge the phone. Hold on. Okay, can you guys still hear us? It might sound a little bit different since I'm hoping that you can still hear us. Can you turn your volume up to see if you can still hear us? Can you guys still hear us? Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. It might sound a little bit different. Okay, so I don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess we felt like we also. I guess growing up with you grow up with indoor plumbing and water on demand and all that stuff. And I think coming to here, I think that's one thing that we realized that we didn't need was just on tap stuff. Oh, we didn't need like on tap stuff. And I don't know. I just feel like we downsized a lot. Where just this. Oh my gosh, it's gonna keep calling. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, but hold on, let's go to the San Fernando earthquake was the last major one. I was living in Lancaster. We ended up finding on land. Where did we find our land? Land.com.
Yeah, and then
Land.com.
And then we found the one in Snowflake off of that site, and then we found the guy that was selling.
Okay, so that was a little complicated.
Yeah.
So we were looking for land on land.com. We found a piece of land that was being sold. Oh my gosh, let me stop tapping the table. We found a piece of land that was being sold up north in Snowflake. And we ended up perk testing that land, and it ended up failing the perk test, which I've heard most of the land up north needs alternative septic systems depending on where you're at. It was more of like a, I guess, Snowflake area. And the guy who was selling that land sells land all over Arizona. So we ended up looking at his listings, ended up finding the pieces of land that he sold down in southern Arizona. So that's how we ended up finding the land. He's a really good realtor guy, super quick, easy process. I think within a week we had documents drawn up and signed and paid for, and he gave us a really good discount. So I was like, that was really good too. It fell where the 14 and the 5 meet, kind of like Canyon Country, Valencia, and Santa Clarita. There were cars on the freeway at the time. It happened after. I didn't hear about that one. When was that? In 07, she said? I think she said it was in 07. Portable battery packs like the ones that are cell phone size to charge your phone and other USB devices.
Oh yeah.
Oh, are you saying that is that your answer for things that you felt you needed but didn't really need, or is that something that you feel like you need?
I think stuff that she has now that she didn't have before. Yeah.
Portable battery packs, like the ones that are cell phone size to charge your phone. I'm actually using one of those little portable battery pack things right now. I don't think. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I was gonna show you guys, but it's the cord is.
In the early 90s.
Hmm? Oh, I was not born then. Thank you very much.
You probably still felt it.
Huh? Well, I was probably born then, but I probably wasn't aware of anything. But I was like the early 90s. Like, I wasn't even a thought in somebody's head. I'm trying to think of any other things. Were there any other things that we felt that we needed before moving out here? Anything on your list that you felt that you needed?
Obviously, like a generator.
Oh, Stephanie says like, oh. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know when we first started hooking up to solar and stuff, it was definitely like our first week or two, it was a learning curve trying to figure out, because one of the biggest things, like when you live in the city, you just plug something in and you don't care how much power it's pulling or how long it's pulling power for. So it's just one of those things where when you move down here, you have to understand your power consumption and realizing that some stuff you might not be able to use during certain parts of the day. So that was also, I think, a big learning curve for us, where just having backup batteries would be nice, like Michelle's saying, like all like the little, portable battery packs and all that kind of stuff would have been nice. I feel like when people mainly first move and stuff, it's like you don't truly, like, you can get an idea and you can prepare as much as you want and stock up on as much stuff as you want, but until you actually get out here, you don't know that you might need 2 extra batteries or 5 extra solar panels until you figure out what your use is going to be and what you're going to be using. Because I thought we were going to be pulling and using a lot more power than we did, but with when we were on solar, our solar one summer hit in like spring, where the sun started changing and longer days, we would end up getting a full charge on our battery system by like noon, 10 o'clock noon. And so then we get into the mindset of how can we waste all this solar, and because at that point we just had surplus. So that's when we would like do laundry, that's when we would be running the computer and running whatever we needed to run, because it's like, well, we have all this power with nothing to do with it. Where did you get your panels? So we actually got our panels off of Facebook Marketplace. So I don't know what happened. Like a few years ago, there was like I guess the solar panel bloom when people started putting solar panels on their houses and stuff. A bunch of solar panel manufacturers, I don't know if they went out of business or they were what, but a bunch of people out here bought solar panels in like bulks, by like the truckload, and so they're selling them on Facebook Marketplace. So our panels were 250 watts each, and we paid $50 for them. We wish that at the time we had bought 2 more, because we had only bought 4 from the guy, and I think he's out of them now. But yeah, but we ended up bringing him, because I think, did we have a trailer then when we got those? No, we did,
but we put them in the back of the car.
Yeah, we ended up shoving them in the back of the Ford, all 4 of them, because we were afraid that the trailer was going to crack them or something. But yeah, we couldn't beat the price for $50, but we were so mad at ourselves because we know we want to expand our solar eventually in the future. So we were like, if we would have just got 2 more panels. But yeah, you can find them, because I know a lot of people, they talk about solar places that are usually like in Phoenix and Tucson and all that kind of stuff, but usually they want like a crazy arm and a leg, or buying them brand new and all that kind of stuff, when you can buy used ones. Well, not used ones, but you can buy new out of the box ones that people just have bought up in bulk for like super good prices, and then you can give them like deals, and you can get deals from them and everything like that. Yeah, the guy was in Vail, Arizona. He was a really nice guy. He's like in the more undeveloped part of Vail, like around. I think there's a Walmart out there, so that's where we ended up getting them from him. But we wish we had got more. Have you guys tried encouraging other family to do the same, and what do they think? Family, we have not. um, I feel like most of our family are pretty established in their lives, and I feel like we're kind of like the black sheep of the family, where we're just like, hey, let's go buy land and let's go do this weird stuff that that none of our family has ever did. Like my grandparents, the house before the one that they're in now, they built their house, and so that's like the last, I guess, relative that has any type of experience of like building and doing that kind of stuff. So we haven't encouraged other family. They are very supportive of what we're doing, which is great. Especially my grandma and stuff. My grandma thinks it's the funniest thing ever. Like she just loves it. She watches our videos and everything, and she gets a kick out of us doing this. So she'll check on us and stuff. Friends, we did try before we actually moved on the land. We tried to convince some of our good friends to move out here and do this, and he wanted to, but his wife was not having it. So it's like you have to have, like, if it's someone that's in a relationship, you both have to be on board, or it just doesn't work. So either one person's going to be super happy because they're out there, and the other person's going to be miserable. But I think our family is more excited to visit than to actually kind of live this type of lifestyle. Because when we first told them, they looked a little sideways, and then we explained, and they're like, okay, that makes sense. We fully support you guys. Do what you got to do. So, the Facebook did not respond.
Wait, which one?
Oh, you can add it back. Yeah. This is charging, right? Yeah, okay, good. That door was open. It was what? She was trying to get. Maybe somebody changed their mind. She was trying to get solar. The Facebook guy. I don't know what's going on there. Hold on. Oh, there's Colo. That's Colo on there. There's my auntie Colo. Hey, Colo. I gotta call you because I got something to tell you. I'll call you later. Look at, she's like, I was born in the dirt. But for solar, I would definitely look on Facebook for solar. Just make sure it's a good seller, someone with good reviews. See, I feel like October is a good time frame to try and get out here. It's still hot, don't get me wrong, but it's crazy when I think people are crazy when they try and move out here in the middle of summer, because that's like the harshest time to deal with this type of lifestyle. And then on top of that, you're piling on moving. So like if you could move in like the fall or the winter, like it gives you some time to adjust rather than just go blaring out and then have to deal with the heat. Then monsoon season slap you in the face, and then you're trying to figure out your solar, your water, building, wherever you're gonna live. Like I feel like it's definitely should be, winter months. Then you can kind of adjust. I know it's like crazy holiday season, but I feel like that's the best time to kind of move out here and try and do that, because then you get a little bit of a break before summer smacks you in the face.
Oh, I was just trying to get it.
From a guy on Facebook. Hey Sandra. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I guess we haven't been on there for a while, but have you seen any more panels? Anybody selling panels on there?
Not like in bulk, like the ones we found.
Yeah.
Like maybe like 2 or 3, but
not like whole like systems.
Yeah, not like someone that's actually selling just that.
Yeah, the good thing oops, sorry, Nikki, is to find someone who bought an overstock of panels. That's where you're going to get your best deal at. Because I've seen on there on Facebook where people are selling like their old systems, or they're selling like them in small quantities where they're asking like crazy amounts of money. So like to get the best deal is to get someone who bought in bulk, and then they're just ready to get rid of the panels. And that guy for sure. Have you checked recently? That guy?
Yeah, I did when we were trying to get more of these guys, but.
So I feel like 10 is good to start off with, and then you can just build off from there with just 10 panels.
Yeah, because you don't have to plug them in at once either. So you can
you can store them and stuff.
As you go.
Yeah, because I feel like starting with the smaller system is good, because then you can get used to it, fine-tune it, and figure it out. But just make sure it's a system that you can expand on. I think that's the biggest part, because like with our system that we have, we can just add more batteries to it, and then we're good to go. But I think, is it the charge controller, or that can max you out?
Yeah, because we had to upgrade from that 40 amp.
What do we have now?
100.
100 amp.
Yeah, so that one can do
the charge
up
controller?
to 100. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We pull like 60 is probably what it hits right now.
Here. It was hot here earlier. It was like 110 degrees earlier, and then it started to sprinkle and it cooled it down a few degrees. So now the wind's blowing. We got some cloud coverage, and so then the sun is starting to go behind the clouds and behind the mountains. So it's starting to cool it down. It usually gets, I don't even know, how much does it get at nighttime? Like 80s? I think we get in like the 80s at nighttime. Maybe 80s, 70s at nighttime. And then like 110 plus during the daytime. So Arizona's bipolar. Tell Granny I said, hey. But yeah, I'm like, there we go. It's like I always see other people doing lives, and I'm like, we need to finally do it live, because I'm like, the lives are fun. Then we get to talk to you guys, at least in live. Like, it's different than talking to you guys through the comment section, because usually it's like you guys leave us comment, we comment back, and that's kind of the end of it. So at least, you know, during a live you get like kind of like an open conversation, so it's kind of nice. What did you do with your microphone? Did I take it? I can put those back in there. I commend you both and do proud of you. I was just talking about you guys, Colo, because I was telling them that you guys are supportive. You guys looked at us like we were crazy at first, but then you guys hopped on board. You guys were supportive with what we were doing, because I don't know, sometimes we think that we're crazy for doing this too, but then, you know, it's fun. It's fun. We like adventure, so I don't know, if we're not doing this, I don't know what else we would be doing, so. I don't know. Well, the next house will be easy. I know, we'll see how this one goes, because well, we'll see how this one goes. This one doesn't seem too bad. I'm like, how hard it could it be to build a house? You know, they give you the plans, you follow the plans, and I'm like, how hard could that be, right? We always say that, you know, all the professionals that are out there, they learned it from somewhere, or somebody taught them. So I'm like, why can't we teach ourselves to do something? So, and then I don't know if you guys like watch, like, you know, I guess, yeah, you watch YouTube, but like all like the new housing constructions that they build and stuff. And that's the one thing that scared us, was that they like build all these new houses and stuff, and they go in and inspect them, and there's so much stuff where they cut corners or they try and save money, and you know, that's a big reason why houses fall apart so fast nowadays. So I'm like, at least if we're building our own, you can kind of go in and you can I joke with Elijah and I'm like, if we decide to cut a corner somewhere on the house build, at least we know where we cut the corner so that, you know, we can expect it to fail at that point. But you never know, like when the construction company comes in, what they're going to do, and it's kind of scary to put all that into someone else's hands, and then you just move in and then you're hoping that, you know, this next rain season your roof is going to last and all that. Y'all are genius putting y'all's electricity in. I feel like with the electricity, it took us a lot of guts to start that whole project and to even attempt it, because messing with power, that's 200 amps of power back there, and I'm like, you don't want to be messing with that. So it took us a while. We ended up getting a quote originally from an electrician just to get a part list and kind of figure out how much an electrician would charge us, and they wanted like $2,000 just to dig the trench and to set up that box. We would have to buy, I don't know, that might have included materials, I don't remember or not, but once we saw that number, we were like, nope, we are turning into electricians in this next few weeks, and we're gonna figure it out, because what's the worst that can happen? You can electrocute yourself. So at least we tried. But I think pretty much with everything that we worked on so far, it's just been one of those things where we're kind of like, okay, we're not sure fully how to do it, so we're gonna research how to do it and learn, and then like take our time, and then we end up figuring it out, because like nothing in this world is hard to do. I think if you want to do it, just do it. You just have to make sure you put your research into it. Let's see, how's the garden going? Garden's going good. I've been struggling with it because of the heat. I have my shade cloths and stuff up. You can see it kind of popping up from the wind back there. I have the shade cloths and stuff up, but one of our builds that we want to do is I want to build a greenhouse so I can get all these into a greenhouse to get them out of the wind, to get them out of the direct sunlight, because the sun is killing me with them. Like, and with them being in containers, it doesn't help even more, because it's harder for them to retain water. But right now, I think I harvested 2 beets last week, and when I pulled them out of the container, I thought that they were going to be like these great giant beets, and you know, they had huge stems and all that kind of stuff, and it proved that my watering was inconsistent, because when I pulled them out, the beets were like that tiny, and it definitely humbled me super fast. We have some onions that are coming up. Eventually I want to build a solar powered, I guess, is it solar? I think it's called like a solar, you know, come back. It's a solar dehydrator, that's what it is. I want to build one of those, because we have some leftover windscreen and like some wood laying around here, because I have some sage that I need to harvest and dry out, and then I have some rosemary. We've been harvesting tomatoes for the last few weeks, and so we are out of our ears with tomatoes, so I've been trying to throw them into everything. I'm trying to think what else we have. What else do we have? My blueberry bush died because I didn't get it out of the container soon enough. The peach tree, the olive tree, and the pomegranate tree are doing amazing. They are loving the full sun. We thought that the 2 little trees, the pomegranate and the olive, we thought that they were going to basically kill over, because we got some serious winds, and they've been standing strong. Nothing's been eating them, thank heavens. But I'm trying to think what else I had. I had a bunch of other seeds that I started, but with the sun just killed them. So gardening is a challenge right now, but I think it'll get easier if we can get like a greenhouse and actually a real garden area set up, because it's tested my patience.
You answered that one already?
Let me see. Hold on. I gotta go this way. Let's see. WPR Ranch, welcome in. True, and if somehow breaks you, you know exactly how to fix it. Oh, that is right. That if something breaks, that we know. That's one thing that we also talked about, was that having our hands on everything means that we know how to fix stuff. So we don't have to go and wait for somebody to come and fix it and hope that somebody's going to come down here to fix it, because that's also an issue, is getting someone out here to fix stuff for you. You can end up waiting like weeks just to get someone to come look at it and inspect it. So knowing how to do it yourself is like one of the biggest things that I think that we're enjoying about this whole process, is that, you know, we've had our hands on everything, so we know exactly where our plumbing is running. We don't have to take a guessing game or hope that they ran the plumbing to the map specifications. Like, we know exactly where everything's at. So do you have an estimation of what it's going to cost you to build your home? So irresponsibly, we do not. I think when we bought our plans, you could like plug it in and see how much it's going to cost. We're more of the people that we're buying in pieces as we can complete stuff. So like right now, we haven't actually finished the plumbing on the house yet. You'll eventually see that coming up soon, but your phone's going to die soon. I don't know if you want to grab a charger. I lost my train of thought now. But oh yeah, so building, cost of building. So we're doing it in phases, and so we're not keeping a rough estimate on how much it will cost. It's just whatever it costs, it costs. We don't have a big pile of money that's just going towards the house build. We're just doing it as we can. So we're not in any rush to finish the house, and we're not really keeping track of the cost. It would be nice if we did, just to kind of, it'd be cool to kind of see, you know, how much we spent in general on it, but no actual running cost to build it. Let's see. I did forget where you are, but greenhouse summer are no good. You will need so much shade and fans. We're down in southern Arizona. So I don't know what greenhouses, because I was always wondered about that, because like I always see the greenhouses with the clear roofs, and I'm like, well, if you're letting just full sun in, how do you truly shade your plants? We do have a neighbor that has a greenhouse, and they were talking about how they were gonna have to bring in like I guess exhaust fans, basically all the fans to help pull out all the heat and everything. So I don't know, it would have to be have you guys heard of the, I think they're the, not Wallapini, are they the Wallapini? They're the little greenhouses that are kind of partially sunk in the ground. We were looking at doing that to help with temperature control. I know there's a YouTuber that's up in northern Arizona that has one that's fully submerged underground. So we were thinking about possibly, you know, having it a few feet in the ground and then doing some like bricks or some concrete blocks around it. So I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, where you want to help somebody out on giving us some tips on that. But usually going underground in the desert, I heard, is the way to go. So if we can dig down and have part of the greenhouse submerged, maybe that will help with at least the heat. But the biggest thing that we're struggling with is just the sun. It's just it wants to just burn up the plants. Like if you miss like one watering of the plants, like they're non-forgiving. So let's see, these will work like at least 6 feet deep. Okay, yeah, because we weren't sure how deep we would need to go to actually get the cooling benefits of it. So 6 feet isn't too bad. So I'm going to hold you to that. We're going to be looking out for the next 2 years so that we can see you build it. We don't get to it first, so that I can get some ideas from however you decide to build it, because that's one thing that we do want, is the greenhouse. And then next to the greenhouse, possibly like a little prepping area where we can our stuff and like preserve everything just right there in the garden. So but yeah, that's the one thing with the gardening. It's just and then the wind is crazy, because the wind blows my shade cloths around, so then it gets uncovered throughout the day, and then the sun burns it. So it's just like this whole big learning curve when it comes to gardening out here, because it's definitely different, because we don't have anything out here really to block all the wind that we get, and we're right on the mountain, so the wind just sweeps right in. So we'll see how that goes with the gardening. I'll keep you guys updated on future gardening stuff. But so far, I feel like we haven't harvested anything but my tiny beets and my tomatoes. Let's see. Does the county force a time frame to complete our stop, especially for those of us that are not well off? So the way that the county works is that you get your building permit, and you have to show progress within 6 months of getting your building permit. But they have different stages of progress. So like the first inspection that we had done was our setback inspection. So that is making sure that our building isn't too close to our property lines, it isn't too close to our septic tank. If we had a well on the property, making sure that it was a good distance from the well, all that kind of stuff. So just having that setback where they just come and look at where your house is going, that will automatically push your inspection, that automatically push your permit 6 months out. And then the next inspection that you can get is your footer inspection, where they make sure that your footer is the correct depth. That will then push your inspection another X amount of months out. So every inspection that you get, it will reset you to the 6 month mark. I think that's how it works, right? That's how, yeah. Because when we got our inspections, it pushed us back to the 6 month mark. Even when we had our green tag inspection for our electrical, that counted towards our house build inspection. So that pushed our permit back. So pretty much there's a bunch of, like, I think before we even pour our concrete slab, we had 1, 2, 3, like 4 inspections before we could even pour concrete, which they're simple inspections, but that just pushes you back. So I think that's the biggest part. And then also when they push you back, you don't have to pay more money. So every time it automatically pushes back, you don't have to put more money out. So once you pay for your house permit and all that kind of stuff, that's the only money that you have to do and come out of pocket with. And then you just set up your appointments online. And then the county people are super nice. I had mentioned in another video that we had the county guy that came out that's going to be on our house build, and he was super, super nice. So, but yeah, that's one thing that we weren't sure about until our first inspection, was like how that works and how far it will push out, because there's not a lot of information online about it. But it's nice because it gives you time to recoup your money, or if you're stuck on a part of your build or you just can't complete it because of weather, it gives you, enough grace. Like before pouring concrete, the fact that we have 4 inspections is crazy. So that's basically 4 pushes on our permit. I love the way you're building nice and slow. I like building slow too. I feel like we're not rushed, because I feel like if you're rushed and you're working against the clock, there you can make a lot of mistakes. And so 1, it's good for money. 2, it's good for our mental status, and so we're not rushing. So I think it's nice to do everything slow rather than just having a big pool of money and just being able to dump it all in, and then next thing you know, you have a house up and your house is halfway falling down. So for you guys who want to cannot live off grid, where will you store it? Nikki, if you can rewrite that one. I was trying to understand your question. Sunken greenhouse probably would help. With the greenhouse and sinking it, we have really good soil out here. When we were digging out our septic tank, we have a nice good clay layer, and then we have a good caliche layer. Caliche is like that concrete type rock. So I feel like us putting a sunken greenhouse in wouldn't be too bad, especially with building it, where I feel like structural wise it will be pretty good. Love your channel, and you are a great couple. Greetings from Georgia. I'm gonna see if I can say Katrina. There we go. I was like, my brain is dying. Thank you, Katrina. And then what was it that they said you had to have in order to get an address? So to get our address was really simple. As soon as we put in our building permit and got the plan, as soon as we put in our building permit and submitted our plans, before they even got approved, they had already issued out our address. So we didn't really have to do anything to get our address issued to us. It was really simple. The only thing with our address was that we had to go and call USPS, it's their addressing department, to get our address put into their system as a real address. And they said that once you do that, USPS manages all the delivery services, delivery systems, so like UPS, FedEx, Amazon. No, there was my screw. Basically, it will all update in their system if you get it updated through USPS. But that does not mean that they won't call you and tell you that your property doesn't exist, because we were fighting. We have a FedEx guy who's our regular. He's a great guy. He had trouble finding our property, but used his common sense and found us. And whenever he is off, we have an issue getting packages from FedEx, because the distribution center that comes from further down south, they keep telling us that we are an empty lot, because rather than realizing that they delivered it to us in the past, and also realizing that clearly we put the address in, they refuse to deliver. So if he is not there, they will not bring us our packages because they keep telling us that it's an empty lot because they're looking on Google Maps, which is stupid. But let's see. You would like to begin to can your veggies where you store your canned food. So we were looking into the canned food storage. So in the area where we would do our prep and canning, we were thinking of doing like a little pantry area over there. I feel like in the house, at least in the small house, we won't have a lot of space to store that type of stuff. I have seen people where they do like these underground, well, it's not underground, but it's like partially submerged, what are they called? Cellars, like root cellars that I've seen people do. So I don't know, we haven't really thought about it as far as that since we're so far out from it, but maybe a root cellar that's over like in the prep area or closer to the house. Or I don't know, maybe a shed that's just dedicated, that's, you know, self-insulated and dedicated for food storage wouldn't be bad too. So see, you're so smart. I thought clay and caliche was the same thing. Oh no. So you will know the difference when you hit caliche because it is like cement, and there is like when we were digging out the fence post holes, the auger wouldn't even get through the caliche. Like we had to get that little sharp breaker bar just to go and break up everything, just because it's like this hard cement. So you'll know when you hit caliche. Enjoy the clay because I love the clay. The caliche I cannot. I remember all that. Yeah, we had a little bit of rain earlier today, just like little sprinkles, but I think it's supposed to be cloudy for the rest of the week. Usually the weather app lies a lot, but it says it's like a 50 to 60% chance rain for the rest of the week, so we'll see, because we can use some rain down here. It's nice when it rains. Like, it's really pretty when it rains. So, Michelle, we can share a root cellar if you want. You're in charge of building it, though. So... It's like, I'll just bring my food and store it with you. Yeah, I've been waiting for monsoon season. I love monsoon season. That's my favorite season in Arizona. Back when, like, I don't know, when we first started dating, we would go, and as soon as monsoon start, we would start driving around like through the water. I know you're not supposed to. We didn't go through the crazy deep water, but we would literally just start driving around and just go drive and like enjoy the rain and all the tree branches snapping and everything, because that is my type of weather, is monsoon season. It's like it's just so pretty and desert, and it smells so good also. Like I don't know, something about the mesquites and the dirt and the Palo Verde trees and all that kind of stuff, like all of that once monsoon season hits is so nice. I'm on the hunt for land. Any tips? I would say tips for looking for land is figure out what you want before you start looking. Figure out what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not willing to tolerate, as far as climate, location, like proximity to like towns, all that kind of stuff, and figure that out. And then once you kind of, I guess, write down like a list, like a non-negotiable list, mm-hmm. and then a realistic list. So like a non-negotiable list and a realistic list, and then go from there, because that will kind of tell you what you're truly looking for and what type of land. Have you figured out kind of where you want to look? Like, are you looking in like Texas? I know a lot of people are starting to off-grid and homestead in Texas, or are you looking like in Arizona? And if you are looking in Arizona, kind of figure out where, because northern Arizona is completely different than southern Arizona. So I would look into that first and figure out kind of what you want. It's what Vegas has here. I never saw anything like until moving to Vegas. That's why it floods when it rains, because the concrete dirt doesn't absorb at all that well. I noticed that a lot of towns in Arizona, when monsoon season hits, they're not prepared for it. Like especially Tucson. All the streets flood. You would think that the people who live in Arizona have never been through a monsoon season because they turn stupid when it comes to driving. And then none of the streets have proper drainage, where everything just floods. Like, you would think by now that they would know what to do and have everything prepared, but no. No, it's like their first monsoon season every single time. I need to hurry up and get water catchment set up. Yeah, we want to do water catchment too, especially I think at least if we can get a little something before full-fledged monsoon season hits. We were looking at building a see if we're on track for that. We'll see how that goes, because it'll be nice to catch whatever we can catch. Did this freeze? Okay. Let's see. Up here in northern Arizona, I think we will have a dry summer, but crazy wet winter. Y'all might get some rain down there, though. I'm hoping that we get rain down here. Northern Arizona, is it hotter up in northern Arizona? Because I've seen like some of the other homesteaders and stuff talking about the temperature up there, and it seems like it's hot. Because I don't know what elevation are you guys at? Because over here we're about, I think, 4,000 feet elevation, so it gives us like a little bit of a break from the heat. But no Texas, looking in Nevada, Arizona, Mississippi. I don't see too many people who homestead in Nevada. Did we ever look in Nevada?
No, just Colorado.
No? New Mexico. I think that was it. Colorado, New Mexico. We didn't even look in Texas. Did we look in Texas? I don't know if we looked in Texas. I never heard of Nevada. I think I saw one channel of this guy who was off in Nevada, but I feel like Nevada's so dry. Like I feel like, I know Arizona's dry, but I feel like Nevada's just super dry. Okay, so up north they're about the same elevation that we are, about 4,000 feet. No HOA or POA rural land. Finding a lot of this in Arizona, 40 acres max. Yeah, I've heard like HOAs. Well, you wouldn't want an HOA in just like a cookie cutter home, so I definitely wouldn't want to mess with the HOA out here, or the little the POAs. But yeah, if you go on like any land searching website, land.com, landwatch, I think there's some more out there. Or if you just reach out, there's a lot of YouTubers now that are on YouTube, reaching out to them, because I know some of them have gone through like lending companies. Are they called lending companies? Are they lending companies? Title companies? One of the things where they go in and they sign documents in person. I've seen some people go through, if you join like Facebook groups for the area that you're looking in, a lot of times they'll have a realtor who lives in the area who's actually selling land for that area. So you can also look for that. So there's a lot of different ways to find it. I think the biggest thing is just to make sure you do your research on it, just to make sure that you don't get scammed. Because I feel like people buying land is starting to uptick now. A lot more people are doing it, and so with that, there's of course going to become, a lot of scammers are going to come out the woodworks because they see an opportunity where people are desperate to get out and buy their land and stuff. So just make sure you're careful with, who you go through. Make sure they're reputable. Make sure you can look them up. Make sure they own the land and all that kind of stuff. So, and I feel like, I don't know, in the next few years, I'm like, eventually, I think for like right now, this is the best time to buy land, because a lot of the people who own the land are getting older to where, they're going into nursing homes, or, they're no longer with us. And so there's a lot more properties that are becoming available just because the people who have held them for 70 years and stuff are now finally releasing their property. So this is going to be like the best time to kind of go in and buy them. Especially land prices are going up. Like we've seen some crazy listings for some like really small parcels as well. So like land isn't even as cheap as when we bought it, but yeah, a lot of people, if you just buy whatever land that you buy, you can always go onto the county's website and figure out who owns the land around you, even if it's not for sale, because most likely it's most likely going to be held by an older person, where you could go ahead and you can get their contact information and you can offer them to buy their land without even them wanting to sell it. So that's also a good way to buy more land. And then just recently we usually have the tax deeds.
Yeah.
The tax deed sale. There's a tax deed sale that they run, I think, once a year out here. They've already ran it. I don't know if it's over yet, but you can also scoop up some super cheap land from there where the previous owners hadn't paid their taxes, and so the state took over the property, so it's now in the state's name, where you can just go in and you bid for it. and basically you pay like the back tax prices for it. And then there's also the tax liens, which is a little bit more trickier than the tax deed sale, but you can look inside your county and see if they have tax deed sales, and you can buy super cheap land just by that. There are a few spots near me that are for sale, but either it's raw or like she said, it's just older folks. Yeah, like around our area, just like in Cochise County in general, a lot of the land, if you go and like look up land history and all that kind of stuff, a lot of them have just been passed down from generation to generation. Or you might find a couple where someone bought it, they started building on it and realized this wasn't really as easy as they thought, and they abandoned it. So that's like something where someone might want to be able to get rid of it also that way, because Elijah had started exploring kind of around our area on his dirt bike, and like he's seen like partial builds, he's seen like where people set up and then they left, and so we see a lot of that stuff out here. But we did notice that there's a lot of land that is quickly popping up for sale and then quickly being sold to where people are starting to build on it. Like at least like 5-6 different pieces of land in our area people recently bought, and they're starting to develop it. So the land's eventually going to run out. Yeah, we were looking at pieces of land on the tax deed sale, because that way you just buy it outright and it's just completely yours. The title gets transferred to your name, but there wasn't any that I guess were close enough to us where it would make sense where we should have it. But we should probably buy some up and then we can resell it to you guys. Are you close to any stores like Home Depot, Tractor Supply, etc.? So big box stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, we're actually sitting in the center of 3 different locations that we can go to. So it's just like a quick run into town, like hour and a half maybe, but we have them in 3 different directions of us. And then Tractor Supply, like 20-30 minutes depending on what direction we go in. So we're not out in the boonies where it takes us like an hour just to go anywhere, which is great. Let's see. Heck, I have sent letters to MX to contact owners near me. Did you have any luck, Nikki, with any of the owners getting back to you? Because I think I've seen like other YouTubers, like this is back in the day, but where they have like mailed off. I think it's do you remember the name? It's the young couple that they built their house on top of the garage, and they're like in like the wooded area.
Mason Dixon or something.
Yeah, there's like a YouTube channel, Mason Dixon Acres. The way that they got their land was that they had wrote into a property owner and they ended up selling it to him. And then there's another person that I watched. They don't post that much anymore, but they did the same thing where they had wrote into the person and they ended up selling them the land. Let's see. She said that her arm is itching now and swollen from the bee.
Oh,
yeah, from the bee sting. Yeah, I don't know. These bees have a vendetta sometimes. I luckily, cross my fingers and knock on some wood, have not been stung by a bee, but Elijah, twice. Right when we moved, twice?
Well, yeah, when I was younger.
Well, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So Elijah got stung by a bee right when we moved out here. It got him in like this part of his arm right here, and it stung him. And luckily he's not allergic to it, because if he was allergic to it, he would have been in a hole somewhere on the other side of the property. But yeah, luckily, I don't know if I'm allergic to bees or not, so we'll see how that goes. Like, eventually, I'm going to have an encounter with one of them, right? Not yet. The last 2 were sent in the last 2 weeks, both to Mexico. Yeah, I don't know what the odds are of them actually responding, but I'm like, eventually, if you send out 100 letters, at least one of them should get back to you, right? Yeah, I don't think... Have we had bees around here lately?
I haven't seen one time, no.
Yeah, so far, we haven't seen too many bees around here, around us. I don't know where they went. I know with our peach tree during the springtime, even then, we didn't see a crazy amount of bees. I think we probably need to plant some of those pollinator flowers to help bring them over. But with our peach tree, the weirdest thing that I saw, have you guys ever seen they look like flies and they have like an emerald green outside? Apparently flies also help pollinate trees, which I didn't know, because they were all over our peach tree this spring. My biggest concern is moving my 80-year-old mom with me. She's in great health, but I'm literally worried. A big reason that a lot of older people are moving out of more rural areas like this is just because of health issues like that. Like they have to be closer to hospitals, they have to be, close to medical facilities, doctors, and all that kind of stuff. So I can understand that big concern because, the older that you get, the more that you need medical services and medical intervention and all that kind of stuff. So that's one of the things that you could position yourself, especially if you do it right, you could position yourself where you're very close to hospitals and stuff. I think we're like 20-30 minutes from a hospital. I also have heard of people having is HVAC, that's a AC unit, HeliVac something. They're like a helicopter membership that you can get, and you pay it, and they'll come and anytime that you need 911 or emergency services, they'll fly a helicopter to your property. Of course, you have to pay for it. I don't know how much it is, but then they can helivac you out to any hospital that you need to go to, which cuts the travel time in half. So I don't know what services offer that, but I have heard of older people doing that where it gets them help a lot faster. Those are Japanese beetles, and yes, they fly up in my face. The other night, so 4th of July, we didn't do anything for 4th of July, but they had fireworks that people were popping off. So we were looking at the fireworks outside, and man, there were these huge beetles. Do you remember what they were called? You had looked them up. They were like these, were they taupe? They were like a taupe color beetle. And apparently they like light, but they're dumb. So they fly into everything, and they kept flying into us. That was our first experience dealing with those. And then earlier this year, like a month or two ago, we had these little beetles, and there were like thousands and thousands of them. They were black with like a little orange line on them, and they died because we spray around our area, but they were everywhere, and the lizards ended up cleaning them up, but it was crazy. The wasp though. Did you end up putting some if you have some witch hazel, put some witch hazel on your bee sting, because it's good for itching. My neighbor got HeliVac last year. Yeah, I've heard that it's super expensive, but I guess like when it's life or death, it's worth it, right? That's one way that you can ride in a helicopter. It's expensive, but
like that.
Don't use umbrellas for monsoons. Use them for the beetles. That's also, I guess, one thing you gotta use is the bugs when they fly around. Luckily, we don't have too many bug issues, but man, sometimes when the bugs are aggressive, they are aggressive, and there's nothing that you can do about them. Luckily, one thing I have to say is that the birds and the bugs have left my garden alone, so I haven't had anything nibbling on them, and they haven't really been nibbling on the trees too much. I do need to get some neem oil to put on my peach tree, because I think leaf cutter bugs, we find like these little circle cutouts on the leaves, so we need to get something for that, because they're tearing the peach tree up. Like, it's doing good, but they're snacking away. But none of the rabbits or anything have messed with any of the trees either. So that's one thing we were worried about, was that rabbits or mice or something was going to eat our trees, because they're outside the play area. And we didn't put like any wire around like a little cage or anything. So I'm surprised that nothing has eaten any of that, which I guess is good, right?
Into the fruit comes, maybe.
Into the fruit comes?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll be tall enough. I think once we get the fruit coming, you have to put a net over them. And then that should keep them.
And we should be closed off by then, hopefully. Fenced out.
Made it to. Hey guys, it's been fun chatting. The first live I ever made it to, but I gotta go cook. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining our first live. Eventually we'll have to get off here because I gotta go cook some dinner tonight. I'm gonna attempt, well, not attempt, it's my second time making it. I'm gonna make some Swedish meatballs with some mashed potatoes. So that's my dinner plans for tonight. I started my homestead in my current home, but it's 1 acre, so I can't have my goats. Man, I heard that goats are wild. Like they're a riot to have. So I don't know. We're thinking. I think we might want a sheep instead of goats, but I don't know. I haven't had goat milk before, so or goat cheese. So
No,
we'll
no
see.
goat cheese.
No goat cheese. So we'll see how beneficial they are. What time are we running on? 6:41. I cold and cooked quail for dinner. I don't think I had quail either. I had Cornish hen. I haven't had quail, but every morning and every afternoon we have a pair of quail that come out the wash and walk across the land, and they don't have any babies with them. So I don't know if wild quail is as good as homegrown quail, but maybe one day we'll see. We'll see if we can catch one of the two. But I've heard that quail eggs are really really good. So um, eventually we'll get some animals over here. I want ducks. Elijah wants chickens, but I want ducks because duck eggs are very very good and they're good for baking. So delightful touch. Said I'm so proud of you. Thank you. They are very very good. Do they taste kind of like Cornish hens do? Because I feel like they're so small. Like, do they truly fill you up? Because they're like, how big does a quail doesn't get that big, right?
Yeah, they're pretty small.
Because quails are pretty native to Arizona, so we see them all the time everywhere. But I've never, I don't know, I never thought about eating a quail. Like I thought about eating a duck, but I've never thought about eating a quail.
Wait, you talk about the eggs or the actual?
No, the actual duck.
Bird.
The actual duck. It's duck. You cook it. It's good. You ever had duck?
I don't think I have. Maybe I have.
You said your mom. She didn't cook it.
Oh yeah, we did. Those,
Yeah.
those were like wild ones, though. The ones that were gamey and salty. We had to like put them in the freezer.
So you weren't nice to them first before you cooked them.
No.
Let's see what we're running at. Let's see where this will go. They do taste like Cornish hens, but not big. But paired with the meal, they do the job. There's this other person I watch on YouTube. I forgot what his thing is, but he did like 30 days of meals from off of his land, and one of the dishes that he made was Cornish hen. So it looked good when he ate it. It's awesome and so motivational seeing you two actually doing everything yourselves. I mean, truly awesome. We are learning as we are going, and yeah, we're just seeing where this goes. Because yeah, I like his channel because he shows you like truly like what you can do with the different animals on your land. So that was always interesting. Like I love that series that he did. I don't know if he's still doing it, but when he did do it, it was really cool. Like I would like tune in every single time he posted to kind of see what he was harvesting from his homestead and what he was processing to eat. And then there's another lady that I watch that does she does meat rabbits, and so that kind of got me interested in possible meat rabbits as well. Well, it got me interested in meat rabbits, so eventually we'll get rabbits for meat. But I'm like, we have all these animals out here, so why not taste them and see if it's something that we like.
You probably don't want the ones that are running out here.
No, you don't want the wild ones, but when you have them domestic, it's a little bit different. They don't taste as gamey and stuff. I'm gonna give you that back so you can have that one. Okay, so it's coming up at 6:45 for us. The sun's gonna be setting soon, and I am going to need to start cooking dinner soon. So I guess we're gonna end the live here. What does that one say?
You guys have amazing build skills. Your gate and fence is awesome. Gave me ideas when I get my land. They are so awesome. I can't wait to see their build. Heck, I can't wait to see the build because I don't even know what's going to come out looking like. So, a lot of stuff we do, we're like, this sounds good in our head. And then we're like, okay, we'll see how it turns out and see if it turns out good. But I'm going to go in so I can start cooking because everybody needs to eat. And I think we're starting to get hungry. But I appreciate you guys for joining our live. We tried to do it at a good time. I know it's Monday today, but I figured that a lot of people had the weekend off from 4th of July, so it's the perfect time to do it. But we appreciate you guys for watching us. It's fun interacting with you guys. So this won't be our last live. We'll try and figure out when we can do another live for you guys because we like chit-chatting with you guys because it's fun. So, yeah, and then we'll get another video out to you guys soon. So I think my vacation is over. So yeah, I think I'll see you guys later then. You want to say goodbye?
Yeah, thank you guys for joining again.
Blessings to you both. Good night, everyone. Blessings. Okay, bye. Well, actually, I had to figure out how to turn you guys off first before I actually say bye.
Just leave it on.
I don't know. If you guys want to watch the sunset, I can turn you guys towards the sunset and I can go in and eat while you guys watch. So, I think that's, yeah, there we go.